You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Challenge Battle of the Exes After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Challenge Battle of the Exes After Show.
Yo, what up, AfterBuzzers? Bing is for doing, and we are doing another AfterBuzz TV After Show for MTV's Battle of the Exes, Season 22, Episode 10. Apparently a tribute to Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You. Do you kind of get where the title's coming from with that? I understood that maybe with the last one, but...
It's like they didn't even watch the episode and just decided to smack the title on. That's fine.
We're down with that. We have so many surprises for you guys, and I hope you guys are getting your questions ready, because we only have like 2 more episodes left to Stump the Steamer, so tweet us at AfterBuzz TV. And also, guys, please, please, please help us out. Hit us up on iTunes with comments, suggestions, rate us, subscribe to us on iTunes. Please, please.
What do you mean we still have 2 episodes left to Stump the Steamer?
Well, we have this episode, so they can tweet us
okay.
to then. And then we also have next week, which is the reunion episode. So 2. I'm joined in studio by the lovely, beautiful Roxy Striar.
Hello.
Hello. And the one, the only, Sir Keven Undergaro.
Yes, thank you. I'm just sitting on the guest couch because I love this show.
He does.
You know, I'm a big fan of yours too, Jess. And Roxy, of course.
We're blushing.
Oh my gosh, don't make me
I'm
blush.
actually glad you're here because I always like to know your opinion watching these guys in their final stretch. These reality stars, these people, and I know we've always talked about in the last couple challenges that, you know, you say a lot of these guys, this is how they make their money. So it's like they're training all year to do these shows.
Right.
So
tonight was brutal too.
I'm glad it needed to be because last week's episode kind of a bore.
I liked it. I
It
know
was
that
cute.
you were hating on it, but okay, I'll give it to you. Tonight was way better. But honestly, I think I could train for years. I think I could be a marathon runner, and I don't know if I would have the gas to do this.
Well, you know what? It's actually really funny. I actually saw today a tweet. Leroy, who was on the season, he's training to do a Tough Mudder. And Tough Mudder is this huge competition. It's basically like this battle. This is probably one of the most intense challenges that I think I've seen on this show. Kevin?
I think of any of the shows, even if
They get more and more intense. And I said to you guys during the commercial break, they're going to kill somebody. I'm not kidding. Someone is going to be killed or permanently injured. And I know they'll not be on the hook because we know these kids sign away their lives. But it seems like every year, every season, they up the stakes. Is Steve Steamer on the line yet?
Yeah, I'm here.
Steamer!
So, Steve, do you agree with the fact that they just seem to keep upping the ante with these competitions?
Yeah, they do. It seems like every season it just gets worse and worse. Like, I remember the season, I think it was Gauntlet 3, when that's when Nehemiah won. I thought that was like the toughest final I ever saw. And then every season since it just gets worse and worse. Like, I love this one, how it's out in the cold. I mean, it's a whole different dynamic. Just, personally, I would have been dead, like,
oh, yeah.
an hour in.
No, me too.
I can't even imagine how they keep on going.
Like 3 seasons ago, I remember saying, God, I would love to try and use some of my industry pull to actually get on this when they were bringing in newbies. And now I'm like, no effing way. No way.
No,
and you know what also is impressive is remember when they originally cast all these people as real worlders, they're not casting athletes, you guys.
Yeah.
They're casting regular Joes. Dynamic, but not for athleticism. I mean, they could be. So the fact that they've we've seen the cream of the crop, and these guys achieve what they. I mean, I would put Johnny Bananas against anyone, and if CT didn't smoke, it could be a Navy SEAL. I feel.
Yeah, and we'll talk about CT in a little bit. And stay tuned, guys.
Not just about
I'm
it.
really excited. CT's calling in tonight. And actually, we haven't had our moment of silence for CT today. So on that note, let's take a moment of silence in 3, 2, 1. All right. Now we're back.
Keven doesn't know.
Yeah, we love CT so much that we take a moment of silence.
I love that. No, he's a friend. I think he's amazing. And I love the way he's grown since Paris.
Yeah,
as a human being, and he's grown up, and what the character he's grown into. It's fantastic to watch, and I was so rooting for him tonight. I think a lot of people were.
We all were, and I gotta say actually, because I know I put my distaste for Johnny Bananas out there a lot, but I didn't like CT at first.
Really?
When CT first started, I thought he was
started this show or started in general?
In general.
Okay.
I was like, he's a disgrace to Boston, and even though that's a lot how Bostonians act, but
I didn't think disgrace to Boston. I thought he was a prototype.
Well, yeah,
of
we didn't. But I'm saying we didn't need to put that.
What we're all like back there.
That being said, of course, everybody in this room right now is from Boston.
And all of us.
We're the upgrading level.
Wait, but I have to say, I feel a little offended because we got a couple comments this week on our iTunes and on our YouTube about how nobody's ever sticking up for Johnny. Does anybody listen to anything I say? All I talk about is how great I think Johnny is. I'm not even kidding. And I love CT, and I love CT and DM. I thought they're a great team, but I just think all season consistently, Johnny and Camilla killed it. And I said that the entire time. I liked him. I think he's funny. He's a competitor.
And I got to say, a few times during this, you wrote that Johnny is the worst motivator. Camilla even mentioned it. But is he? Because
it's just a different coaching style.
Exactly.
You can have that one coach who pushes you, come on, you can do it. And then you have the other ones like, you suck. You come on.
I'm already
get
up
that
here.
lead out of the ass. It's just two different techniques, and you can't argue it because it worked.
But that would never work on me. If I had my partner screaming at me like, you idiot, what are you doing? I would be like, it would completely make me shut down. But if somebody was saying, you can do this, trust me, once you get here, it's worth it, whatever it is, that would work way better on me. Like the CT DM connection would work way better for me than the Johnny Camilla.
Well, agreed.
And I don't even know what to say about Ty and Emily's connection.
Your guys' special guest, we're going to get him on the line. CT from The Challenge.
CT, buddy, what is going on?
What's going on, big man?
Nothing much. Congratulations on making it.
Congratulations, man. I made it up that mountain without dying. Came home with a little bit of cash.
Yeah.
I can't complain. I still got all my digits.
Are you still recovering?
A finger, a toe, or a lip.
Are you still recovering from that battle? Have you quit smoking, CT?
You know what? I'm taking bigger strides now. Make sure I can get up another mountain in case I need to.
Well,
man, but I tell you what, though, it's hard to quit smoking when you're in a house like that, man. I definitely think it played a huge factor. Don't get me wrong. I mean, smoke a pack and a half a day and try to climb up of a mountain after a 14-mile hike, probably not going to work out.
I can't believe you did that well under the circumstances. I thought that it was amazing. But so you're saying when you're in the house, it's harder to quit smoking because there's so much stress?
Oh, man, it's constantly, the house is like, it's just a constant stress ball. It's just constantly, constant.
Well,
it's just, but at the same time, I can't complain. I'm happy to be in that situation. I didn't think it was going to last this long. I think my 15 minutes has lasted close to 10 years now,
And I think you have a longer time to go, honestly.
Yeah, I can't complain, man. It's only getting better. It's funny, though, to see all the support I'm getting now. Sorry about that. I'm outside of the Dirty Gator in Fort Myers right now, getting ready for the Surf and Song Fest.
Wait, back up, Chris. Chris, are you down on spring break? Are you hosting something down spring break?
We already did that. We're on this Forgiven tour, and we're just pretty much going to every spring break destination across the country in a tour bus. But we're at the final leg of the tour now, and we're down in Fort Myers for the Surf and Song Fest. It's actually it's a benefit that for the Navigating Autism program for the Children's Hospital down here, and. It's live music all weekend long, 14 stages, 109 bands, live music all day long. It's real cool. It's real different than a lot different than the spring break atmosphere.
Wait, it's spring break for a cause? Are you kidding me? That sounds unbelievable.
It's like the
why
best
am
of
I not
both
there?
worlds.
Where am I?
Wait, how did you not get your own? How did Pauly D get an after show and you didn't get an after a show?
You know what? Hey, I don't know, man. Take that up with the powers that be, as they say in Angel.
Hashtag, all right, guys. Hashtag the CT project. All right, I want to ask you a couple questions going into this challenge. Were you more motivated? I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. I feel like you were a little smaller this challenge than last challenge. Last challenge, I felt like you were beast mode with your body, the way you were.
Yeah, in this one, I wasn't really in as good a shape as I was in the last one. I didn't really have as much time to prepare for it anyway.
How much time did you have in between?
Usually, well, it was just that it depends what I'm doing. Like, if I'm running around doing a tour like this and all of a sudden they ask me to do a show, it's not like I can just jump into a gym, and train the way I want to. Last time I did the show, I think Rivals, I came back with a vengeance. It came in fourth. This time around, I cut that in half, came in second. I mean, if I cut it in half one more time, man, I'll be coming in first. So, I think I need to step my game up. But I was gonna say before, it's kind of weird to actually get so much support now because I'm used to being the bad guy, and now everyone wants me to win. And honestly, I felt like I let a lot of people down this time. So this time I got to step it up and smash some heads.
Yeah, Chris. At least you know what. At least people wanting more. So it is as long as you're willing to go back, and I'm sure MTV's gonna be willing to put you back. I think it's fine. And I love how you have won over the masses. I mean, we have people in here literally standing and cheering as they're watching. I'm not kidding. Watching you the last 2 seasons, and especially this season, screaming and cheering and high-fiving after you do what you do. I think especially just what you showed with Adam last season and the amount of class and dignity and I know you guys had your problems and it took him a while to forgive you, but the fact that I felt like the old CT after that loss might have said something, but the fact that you put your arm around him and said, it's okay, you know what, we had a good time, we did it, and you guys walked off into the sunset. It was amazing.
Everyone was like, what? Who's that guy?
yeah, right? No, that's the
I'm sure everyone was waiting for me to implode, but I'm in a different space in my life now, and don't get me wrong, I wish a motherfucker would sometimes, you know what I mean? But
right.
I like to pick and choose my battles now instead of taking them all on,
Well, we know you've endured a lot, with your brother and things like that, and it hasn't been easy for you, but I love the fact that, a lot of the guys, I'm from that area as well, and a lot of the guys never grow out of it, ever. And
oh yeah, you're not right. They still get that talk too. It's so funny. I think I lost my accent. When I go home, people are like, "What's up, kid? What are you brown?"
Yeah, kid, what's up? Yeah.
Why, guys? Your father doing? Kid, want to party?
Yeah.
Bro.
It always
scab off your face and get away from me.
The accent always comes back.
Yeah.
I love that you think you lost your accent. It's still there. It's still strong. I'm hearing it and loving it.
I want to go over a couple of the challenges that you had tonight. One, how do you prepare to eat a head of an animal and drink a vessel of blood?
Oh my God, that was disgusting. You had blood all over your face.
That was actually an epic scene, though, of you drinking that vessel and just like smiling into the camera with the blood dripping.
Going into these challenges, like you the way to really prepare for them. You do all the squats you want, all the push-ups. You can run as many miles as you can. But then, they make you put on a pair of Speedos and run across a beam, covered in honey. You know what I mean? Or like eat a goat's head. There's not really a way to prepare for it. Yeah. With the goat's head, it was kind of like, honestly, the only way I felt like I got through it was with that blood. That blood, I kept telling myself, because you keep trying to tell yourself it's not what you're eating, but you really know it's a goat's head. So I'm sitting there drinking the blood, and I keep telling myself it's V8. So every time I put something in my mouth, just the texture alone makes you want to throw up. But when you get something in your mouth, you have a little bit of V8 with it. It kind of makes it go away.
Wait, why did nobody help?
But in my mind, I felt like I was eating like a vegetable, like drinking a vegetable smoothie.
Oh my God!
That's disgusting. But why did nobody else have blood all over their face? Why was it just you?
No, Emily was running with.
Bananas had a little bit on them.
Oh,
a lot of them were pretend throwing up and all that. I wouldn't even give my time to myself. I wouldn't even try to think about that. I was just trying to get it down.
No, I loved it. It was like you went right through it. What was going through your head when Johnny was heckling you from behind? Could you hear him?
You know, Johnny's he's done great, and you can't. You know, I don't want to take anything away from him. You know, he's a guy everyone loves to hate now. I'm glad it's not me anymore. And the kid consistently does well, and you got to give it to him. I mean, he had a really good strategy. We should have kept our pace. Originally, we want to catch the lead and keep a good pace, and that was it. I don't know why I felt like I can jog 14 miles uphill in the snow both ways with no shoes on for some reason. You know, but Johnny, what they did, he had a really smart move. He moved. He said it afterward. He's like, you know, we just followed your footsteps. You know, you pretty much cleared the path for us.
Oh,
because
wow.
Tundra, it wasn't like, it's like Dion's on top of the snow. She was so light, she didn't even break the snow. She was just twinkle total across it. Like, she didn't even break the snow. I had to literally dig through it. And then Johnny would just follow my path, and if it looked too difficult, he'd find his way around it. He knew where
That's
where
so
not to.
bananas.
But on top of that, he had a really great pace. I mean, look, I thought it was a race. You know, after watching it now, I'm like, okay, it wasn't really a race. It was a walkathon, you know?
Right.
It was about the puzzles, and then you walk to the next one and do another puzzle and walk to the next one, you know? But you know what? It's been a long time since I've been in a final, and you know what? You learn from your mistakes.
Absolutely.
And the next time I come back, I'm gonna be running uphill a lot more before I come on the next challenge.
But Chris,
sure.
let me go back because knowing a Bostonian, as he was saying, yeah, you know, what was some of the things he was saying? He was yelling. You were in first place, and he was gaining on you, and he's like, you're getting tired, and for me,
He's like, we're on your ass.
and it's why I always had a hard
Running,
time
yes.
as a basketball player. Like when people started talking shit, I just would want to punch them.
Yeah, and then you lose your cool, and you
Right.
make a stupid foul, and you end up losing the game.
Right. So when
It's at that point, man, in the game where I was just trying to finish, man.
okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At this point, like the thing is, it's like, you know, 4 hours of leg lunges. You know, you're kind of like, my legs were shot, man. It was like lactic acid, like they were seizing up. They were tired. It was like they got harder and harder to take another step. And then it's like, you know, if you watch it, like little by little, I don't know what happened. And I think I was like, I lost so much. I didn't have gloves on, I didn't have a hat, I didn't have a hoodie. I was like, I'm barefaced walking up a glacier in Iceland. Like, I don't know how I don't have frostbite. You know, it was just, I was getting lightheaded. I couldn't see. It was just, I was getting blurry. I couldn't breathe. You know, it was just, I was thirsty.
I know.
I kept thinking was, I just gotta finish, man.
I wanted to get you a
paid.
Gatorade so bad.
You know,
I'm like,
what it is.
Those electrolytes up.
Wait, was there any point where you felt like you weren't going to make it? You were just like, I'm done. I can't do this. I'm not going to make it to the top.
You know, there was one point I really thought they were going to show where apparently it looked like I was making snow angels. This is what some of the people were telling me. I think it was production or cast. They're like, dude, 1 minute it looked like you were making snow angels. In my mind, I'm thinking I'm going up this hill, you know, but in reality, I wasn't even moving. You know, it's just where I was in my head. It's just,
You could
man,
definitely.
I did not expect it to be that tough. And, you know, and I always thought, like, maybe with my own arrogance, like anything they can do, I can do better. You know what I mean?
right.
And it's not true, you know. And I know now the hardest thing about these challenges, it's like you go there in the best shape of your life, but if you make it to the final 6 weeks later, sitting in the house when really no type of gym, you know, you're drinking and smoking all day, not really doing anything. All your training kind of slowly goes away, and it's really about maintaining your fitness. Like, you have to learn how to maintain it and keep as much as you can for as long as you can, because in the end, you know, if you got nothing left, man, you're gonna look like me on a mountain, you know.
Right.
So
Chris, did you
that's
play?
one thing I definitely learned.
Did you play sports in high school?
Yeah, I mean, you know, growing up in Boston, you know how it is. It's whatever the season it is, that's the sport you play. You know.
But I mean, I'm looking at you, and I swear, besides the smoking, you could. It seems like you could have been a Navy SEAL. I mean, some of the stuff that you pull off, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, you
know.
can tell by the way I climbed up that mountain. Oh, yeah.
Well, if you didn't smoke, but if you look at all the other challenges that you've done, it's incredible. And that's why I'm curious. I was always curious if you played football or lacrosse,
Hockey.
My major sports were hockey and basketball, and it sucked that they were in the same season because I was really good at both. I was at Charlestown County for a while. And then I went to Malden Catholic. I think I broke my hand at tryouts.
You went to Malden
I
Catholic?
didn't make the team. And then halfway through high school, I switched from hockey to basketball. I was MVP of the league. Here comes White Boy coming down left-handed. No, he's really a righty. Oh, White Boy shook him off. No, he didn't.
Wow. By the way, so did you play hockey at MC? That's a really amazing program.
No, I actually ended up transferring from Malden Catholic to Shawshing Tech, my own hand. When we moved out of Charlestown, I think that's the best thing he ever did for me was take me out of there. I mean, I love Charlestown. I love where I'm from. It made me who I am, but, I mean, it's not what it used to be anymore, to say the least. And when he gave me the option, it was like, do you want to go to an all-boys school where you have to take a bus from Bunker Hill up and down St. Francis to Sullivan Square, through Everett, past Pope John, up to MC, or you can go to Shawshing Tech, was like Dazed and Confused. 1 week of shop, 1 week academics, you know what I mean?
Right.
Pretty much do what you want. Yeah, I went from a serious school to, a not-so-serious school, I guess. I mean, it's a great school, don't get me wrong. But it definitely wasn't as challenging as Malden Catholic, that's for sure.
I mean, you don't get any more Boston, Chris, than being like from Charlestown and all those places you just described. That's amazing.
What, Sullivan Square?
The whole
bring
thing.
it back to the Navy Yard right now.
I'm South Mepha, so I'm right close by. Mepha. Wow.
Nah.
All right, so Chris,
I went to Method. I went to school with some kids from Method.
Oh yeah, we all know each other. You know that.
Oh yeah.
Very small area.
I got the rundown on you, bro.
Yeah, you did. All good.
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
You went to LA because you're on the run.
When are you coming out to LA?
Right now.
You got to make it over to the West Coast.
We're gonna get him here in June.
We're gonna get you in studio. CT. So one thing that we've said is that going through all the seasons, we've noticed that the challenges keep getting harder and more difficult. Do you find, from the first challenge that you were ever in, that it's easier because you're more prepared as what's going to happen, or that every season you see that the game's more so a puzzle, or do you find that MTV's really trying to, we're thinking that they're going to try and kill somebody one year at the rate that they're going with these things?
Yeah, they really do a really good job, reinventing themselves every year. I remember when I first started doing it, I think one of the elimination rounds, I think Katie Doyle was smoking a cigarette, walking on a treadmill, wearing an itching powder like pajama suit. Like, to come from that all the way to, stuff like X Factor and, I don't know what the other one, just like the physical type of competition that they have now. I don't know where they can go next with that. I'll tell you what, though, I really like this one and the way the game was played, because it wasn't like, it didn't matter how many friends you had on the show.
Right.
If you had to perform to stick around. If you came in last, it didn't matter how many people you were friends with, you were going in. And if you came in first, they gave people incentive to come in first, because if you came in first, then you were saved, and then you actually had the power. So, you had people competing to try to get first, rather than be like, oh, if you win, I'm good. It doesn't matter what place I come in. So it made people perform. So it had a way of kind of like, thinning out the teams were they were automatically thinning themselves out. If you were weak, there was nothing you could do. You were going in, And the way this dynamic worked out, it was like, okay, you know what? Say this kid comes in last, but you know what? I come in first, and I want to get rid of this really good team. But more than likely, if I send him in, he gets rid of that weak team. He comes back pissed off, and now I got a bullseye on my back. And that was something that you really didn't get to see on TV, And that's why a lot of people are like, well, why didn't you send in Johnny when you had the chance? It's like, well, the kids won how many goddamn power couples?
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I'm just going to piss the kid off. You know what? Let's play the odds. It's a game. And I thought we had a really good strategy by getting rid of Paula and Dunbar, because, I think they would have done very well in that final challenge,
Yeah, Paul's been there before.
You know what? But at the same time, don't get me wrong. Like, I want to win. But to me, where I'm from, if you win, you got to beat the best.
Exactly.
And I thought, like, we had the three strongest teams in the final, and we all went toe-to-toe, and the best team won,
You know
and I
what,
can
though?
take that on the chin, but if I go home on some bullcrap technicality, and no one wants to see me straight up, then I'm going to have a problem with it. Then I'll probably lose my cool. But you know what? We go toe-to-toe, and I'll take it on the chin, and I'll come back stronger next time, no doubt,
Building on that, though, I'm curious because you're also only as strong as the weakest person on your team, right? So how did you feel about working with DM, and did you feel like you guys paired well together, or were there issues?
We had differences, I'll be honest with you. I'm tired of, I wish they put me on a team, maybe don't put me on a team. I'm ready for another duel to come out. I want to go every man for himself. If you make it to the final, everybody gets a little bit of cash. That's cool. I don't like the whole winner take all. Because it's like, if you put in all this time and all this effort and all this work, you make to the final, then you don't go home with any money. I don't think that's necessarily fair.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm getting tired of put on teams with people that it's like I'm teamed up with people just for the drama. And I understand that's part of the show or whatever. But you know, as a team, we grew and all that. But me and her, I mean, I feel like this is the second challenge in a row where I didn't want to fight with the person anymore. So you do whatever you want. Who cares how it affects us in the game? Because physically, I don't feel like it's going to bother me anyway. And I don't think that's necessarily a smart way to play the game, because no matter how strong you are, you know, you don't know what's going to happen when you go into these challenges or into an elimination round. And it's like, it's not that you're scared. It's just like the least amount of times you go into an elimination round, the higher your chances of going to the final. Mm-hmm. And if it sucks when you're constantly butting heads with your teammate, because then you miss what's going on around you. And then, you know, it just, like the way I play the game and the way she wanted to play the game were two different things, you know, and that's why we butted heads, because we weren't communicating. She didn't want to come in last, but she didn't want to come in first. I want to come in first every time and rip everyone's head off. And I think in the end, when I look back on it, you know, we had a good team, because no one wanted to see us in an elimination round. But I think it was also smart, not that no one wants to come in last, but not necessarily coming in first, because if you come in first, you have that bullseye on your back, whether you like it or not, because you have to pick somebody to go in. And if they come back, they'll be pissed off at you, and there's just somebody else you have to look out for. And in this game, it's a numbers game and a chance game, and you don't know what's going to happen, and there's no way to really prepare for it. The only thing you can do, really, I don't know. The only thing you can really do is try to survive and try to stay under the radar. Because if you got too many people pointing a finger at you, I mean, you guys saw it in Rivals. I mean, no matter what you can do, no matter what you do, it's just if too many people are pointing a finger at you, you're screwed. You're going to have to go in every time. And nobody wants to be the Ty and Emily.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Chris, the other thing I'm noticing with the shows is the competitions are getting more difficult. Yes, I'm also noticing that there seems to be less hookups and less on the party end. And I don't know if that's because how they're editing it or if that's the reality of it, because it seems like earlier on these were much more about we're all going to go and party. A couple of people took it serious and ended up winning. But now, because the fact people are older, maybe they're in committed relationships, or maybe they're just taking this all more serious, it seems like there's less hooking up. So my question is there less hooking up? And if not, like, tell us about some of the hookups that went on there.
Well, I think it's, look, you put the same people in the same house, so many times over and over and over again, people are going to stop hooking up. I mean, the show's called Battle of the Exes. You know what I mean? So it's not called Battle of the Crushes. You know what I mean? Right. And it's like, at the same time, you're in this house, and you're looking at these girls, and you know that these girls are there because they hooked up with somebody else.
It's
so
kind of
like
less
you're
attempted.
expecting like a virgin, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, you can't help but look. It's kind of like you're trying to date a girl and you see her ex-boyfriend every day. You know, it's just awkward.
So that basically puts cold water on all of it. So there were less hookups that took place on this one.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, I mean, I'll be nice. I mean, the guys have their own point of view, and girls have a different point of view. But yeah, I mean, that's the gist of it. That's the nice way of saying it.
Well, I'm just because it's still at the end of the day, you're a bunch of young people, and you're put away in an area for however many weeks. I can't see it not being a hookup. Roxy in our studio, pretty girl from Boston, is exploding. Wants to ask a question.
Well,
Chris,
I've got to say, I mean, yeah, you're talking about other people's exes, but then we see you and DM in the tent. It's cold outside. You guys are.
It could have been the wind blowing.
What's going on there?
Titanic, all the summer in love. Come on, man.
No hookups there.
I was just trying to make an awkward situation less awkward. All right, by cracking a joke.
I don't know. I think that you guys should have gotten together for a little body warmth.
Well, walking away from that.
Right.
Walking away from that, did you have more respect for DM? Did you feel that she really pulled through with this?
She had more respect for me afterwards than anything.
Well,
I mean, you know?
Well, because I want to ask you.
I feel like she tried really hard to make me the bad guy, and I was like, fine. Whatever you want.
But more so, I'm talking about the final challenge. With the final challenge, to me,
she killed that final challenge, man. She killed it.
But
I have a lot of respect for her. She killed it.
But my question is was it just because she had more stamina? I mean, you were the one who ate everything. You were the one who battled through
the hole, through the tunnel.
Tunnel. You know. So was it an equal, fair team, or would you say that wow, I was really impressed by what DM did, or did you guys kind of both give each other a break?
I don't even think Dean was tired after that final, you know?
Oh, damn.
But, you know, I mean, if we played the whole she's the brains and I'm the brown again, you know, and I don't think people are giving my brain game enough respect, no homo. You know what I mean?
But I was impressed with.
I've won a couple challenges. I mean, I got myself out of elimination rounds 2 puzzles. I'm good at them. I'm not bad.
I was impressed with her stamina.
I don't know what to say. Like, you know, I mean, you want me to? You can't expect a little girl like her to do all the grunt work that I was doing. I mean, we had a good team. It was like, you know, I mean, we had a good solid thing, and I came up short in the end.
Chris, do you think?
And throughout the challenges, there were times where we could say, oh yeah, she's the weaker link, but when it came down to the final, I was the weaker link on our team, and. You know what? I'm only human.
But Chris, was she an athlete? I mean, she never struck me as an athlete until this, and I see her able to.
I mean, she can run in a straight line for days. Don't get me wrong.
And that's all it took on this, I guess.
And these challenges are mostly based on heights, and she's afraid of heights. But you know what? We got through it. You know, we did it no matter what. No matter what it was, we did it, and we never really came to first until the end. When it counted, and then when it really counted, I'm the one who came up short. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think she played sports in high school or college or anything like that. But I don't know what to say, man. I'm not going to.
What I have to ask, what do you think are your biggest strengths and weaknesses on the show? Because on the episode tonight, you were saying that puzzles weren't your thing, but now you're saying that you're okay with puzzles and your brain game's pretty good. So where?
I don't know. I remember I sent a couple of people home, I think, on puzzles. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, one. I think I sent Evan home. I mean, I have no problem with puzzles. I don't think it's my biggest strength. I don't think it's my weakest. I think definitely my weakest is smoking.
Yeah, gotcha. I think so too.
And that's you know, and once again, my own worst enemy. You know, I'm taking strides of not being my own worst enemy, but you know, this is just the next step I gotta take to not be my own worst enemy.
And going into it, you know, one question we've had with you and teamed up with Diem, we also wondered, well, we saw another weak team was Ty and Emily, where Emily was picking up the strength. So we questioned if you were to have a teammate to be the super team, who would you pick? Would you?
Yeah, you give me Emily all day.
Emily or Laurel? Who would you pick?
Oh, give me look. Can you imagine me trying to carry Laurel across the beach? Forget it, dude. I would blew my back out.
So you would pick Emily?
Yeah, fucking all day.
Yeah, she was a basketball player from Northeastern, wasn't she, Chris?
Who?
Emily, wasn't she a Division III basketball player?
Was she? I think she said Colorado.
I don't know, but she's an animal in these challenges. She does like Tough Mudders and she does CrossFit and she's a good kid. She keeps if you look at Emily, like one of the things I really admired about her in this challenge, like, and I said it and they never showed it, but like she took everything the house threw at her and gave it right back with a smile on her face. If you look at her in the final challenge, she's still smiling the whole time.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, you gotta admire something like that. You know what I mean? Because to me, I don't have the headstrong to do that. You know?
She ran away.
She's great at what she does.
She ran away from the sled dogs, and she patted the last dog. But as she's running off, that just shows who she is. Yeah, we love her. She's great. Chris, who do you stay in touch with from the whole real world to challenge group?
You'll be shocked to hear this, but I've been on tour with Johnny Bananas like the last 3 weeks.
I believe that.
It's so funny, me and him. Yeah, it's so funny. Me and him were like looking at each other, like I don't know what happened. I think it was we played Xbox online one day, and we just realized that me and him have so much in common. That's why me and him butt heads so much, you know.
Oh,
and
anyone else?
We were like, damn, we should have fucking been friends a long time ago. We were like, hell yeah, we made everything a lot easier for us.
Right?
You know?
Who else do you stay in touch with?
Besides that, besides Banana Head, yeah, I mean, I keep in touch with some people here or there, you know, say we got some sort of gig coming up or something like that. Leroy, I keep in touch with. He's cool in my book.
Adam?
Every once in a while, people drop a line. But for the most part, I mean, day-to-day wise, man, I'd say Bananas and Leroy. I talk to Leroy.
What about Adam, Chris?
No. Adam, no. You know what's weird about Rivals? But Adam, we were talking for a while after the Rivals was over, and it was mostly after, like, say he would watch the show on Wednesday night, call me up drunk, always apologizing, feeling bad because he felt like he let me down, and I always kept trying to tell him, like, dude, you gave me everything you had, man. That's all I can ask for. I'm proud of you, bro. You know, whatever. But over time, it made me kind of think, like, what are you sorry about? What do you really feel bad about? Because there was a rumor going around that during that X Factor game, he took a dive. And I didn't want to believe it.
Oh,
But,
wow.
yeah, but then after the show was over, me and him, I guess, I don't know, maybe he's just busy. I don't know.
Wow.
But, you know, I'd like to believe that wasn't true. In my heart, I want to believe that wasn't true. But, I mean, you know, stuff like this has happened in the past, and I wouldn't be surprised. But,
you know,
I'd like to think we left on a good note, you know?
I admire you for being not so much into the clique and kind of being your own person. I know a lot of them, it seems like, and Roxy and Jesse, you can speak to this more because you hang out with some of them, but it seems like there's definitely some cliques that form within this group.
They have little cliques. And I do want to say actually about Adam, I actually met Adam a couple months back, and honestly, he had only nice things to say of you while we were out. I mean, so.
Wow, I don't believe that.
No,
I'm just kidding. Yeah, he's all right in my book now.
And speaking.
It gets to the point where you get tired of fighting. There's no point in it.
Right. Speaking of Leroy, I just saw Leroy saying today, there's this thing that's going around called Tough Mudder. You just mentioned it. Would you ever do this challenge? I mean, you think MTV's crazy? This looks really intense.
Wait, can you explain it? What is this Tough Mudder?
A couple of my buddies already asked me to join their team, you know, and it'd be something to train for. You know, if I do a Tough Mudder, I'd definitely snap a final challenge off, no doubt.
Right.
For right now, I'm not going to dive into a Tough Mudder anytime soon, especially when I'm down here in the sun. Right. You know, doing it. The only kind of weightlifting I'm doing right now is 8-ounce curls.
Oh, those are my favorites. Chris, who sets this up? Did MTV set this tour up?
No, man. I've been doing all this stuff on my own for a long time, man. You know, I could use it. You know, if you guys want to help me out with anything, let me know, man. I'm getting tired. You know, I mean, seriously, man. Now it's like these cast members, like, a lot of them is
AFTERBUZZ.
A lot of them, like, this is all they do, and this is all they're gonna do. You know, I've always tried to, you know, I got lucky. I hit the lottery. I won a free trip. You know, I take this and apply it to other things, and I've always tried to keep a job after the shows. And over time, it got to the point where it's just, man, I can't even keep a job anymore because I'm just doing all the shows. And then I come back and I do these appearances. And in the beginning, it started with me, you know, just getting paid, you know, some so-called promoter, manager, agent called me up, wants to be my best friend, going to give me some money to show up, shake hands, kiss babies, take photos, like I'm running for mayor all day. And then over time, I started doing it on my own. I started booking other cast members. And over time, I started getting involved with corporate-sponsored events. You know, I was in New York Model Management for a while. Then next thing you know, I'm doing like a National Lampoon tour sponsored by Dell and Microsoft. And then Sundance or Jazz Fest, Kentucky Derby, or, you know, corporate, you know, sponsor spring break tours and stuff like that when it's in my own hands, you know?
Sounds like you're living the good life.
Now, I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off, but now it's to the point where these shows, back in the day, I remember when I was a rookie, we were getting a hell of a lot more money to do these things. Now, there's so many cast members, it's so oversaturated. And what happens is, you get these kids who have like a 6 to 8 month shelf life. They start doing gigs, they get all this money, and they move out to LA. They're gonna be superstars, you know. And that's my biggest problem. A lot of people don't understand that. You get these kids, small town, middle of nowhere, big fish, small pond. They get lucky, get on the show. They think they're gonna be Brad Pitt. They go out to LA, they make some money. When that money starts to slow down, they start doing these gigs for less and less and less money. What it does is people like me, it depreciates the market value, and it gets harder and harder to get a decent gig and make decent money around here, you know? And those motherfuckers are the ones I get in fights with. And then, of course, I'm the bad guy because I run my mouth on TV too much. You know?
Well, I think as long as you stay, you stay on TV and you stay in you're relevant and you're a front runner. You're definitely ahead of, you're the cream of the crop. So I think it has to help you maintain your value.
And you've honestly, CT, you've turned a new leaf with the past two challenges. You have a breath of fresh. You're a breath of fresh air to these challenges now with your personality. I know here at AFTERBUZZ, the main thing that we talk about with you is how you've changed as a person, and now you're, rather from going to the bad guy, now you're the one we're rooting for and cheering for, and we want to win. And
I appreciate that. You know, I feel like the bad boy gone good. You know, and I like to think of me as like that older brother, like what's here with Emily, like giving her a break and Ty a break. You know, being like, yeah, I wish someone gave me a break. You know, that stuff feels good.
And
but you know what? Honestly, I mean, I love the money. Don't get me wrong, the money's good. But I mean, the way these challenges go now, it's not like I can retire on it. So to me, I'm lucky just to be a part of these things. And the more exposure I get, I can take that and apply it to something else. You know, more exposure I get in the show, the more money I make when I get home.
Okay,
And I'm lucky, man. And I try to make sure I don't forget that. And if it's coming off on the show, man, that's great, man.
Absolutely.
Good to hear, man.
What's your next
Usually
step,
I'm getting
though?
yelled at and I'm getting called bad names,
TT, what's your next step? Where do you want to go from here? You want to go on more challenges? You want to keep doing these tours? Or what do you want to be doing?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I love the travel. I love the throw parties. You know what? I don't know. You tell me, man. I know Kevin was talking about making me a superstar.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, I can't take something like that serious because reality TV is frowned upon in the entertainment industry anyway.
I think
no way I want to make me good. Unless I look like Jamie, there's no way no one will ever look at me like that.
No, I think you need to be like the next Marvel superhero, like the
Oh,
champion
God,
CT.
me and my old man, that's one of the things me and my old man used to do. We used to collect sports cards and comics or whatever, and as a way to keep in touch with each other when I was on the road, I would meet him at like these big memorabilia conventions, and we started our own company, and I mean, I'm all about that. I watch Walking Dead, and right after that, too, I watched that comic book show. Man, it's funny, man. I read all that stuff. It's so funny back in the day, everyone made fun of me for, like, reading comics. Now it's, like, the cool thing,
Exactly.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
All right, where's superhero, though? I don't know.
What would your
So many
superhero
from.
power be? If you could have one power, what would it be?
I want to be Professor X, but I want to be able to walk, so that's kind of like. But then again, I guess I could float around. I don't know why Professor X doesn't float around. I mean, he can move everything. I don't know.
I love how you know. This is amazing. You know X-Men. I'm more impressed now.
Look, when I was little, I used to draw the whole Superman vs. Doomsday series, dude.
Wow.
Oh,
But
really?
then Superman got crazy because there was a good one, a bad one, a metal one. It was just like, okay, how many Supermans can there be?
Yeah, and they changed his hair.
This
and
is totally
They just
unique.
kept trying to.
Personalities does this guy have? He needs medication. You know what I mean?
They just were trying.
All right, see, he needs to be like you should have been the Green Lantern.
You should write a new comic book and then
How did
star
Ryan
in
All
it.
right, dude, now all stupid ideas are coming. Chris, can
That
I
was
say
brilliant.
when you go to these club appearances, is it actually still just fun to go and drink and meet some of your fans and and look at the cute
I
girls,
think it's
or
all
is it
smoke and
boring?
mirrors,
Okay. Meaning what?
It's all smoke and mirrors.
So in other words, it's not fun anymore for you.
It's not that it's not fun. It's just awful when you got people constantly looking at you from what. Like I honestly feel like who I am on TV, I have no control over anymore. It's already predetermined. And I mean, look at like one of the things I remember me and Johnny were complaining about because it was really trying to think of this this me and like being relationship back again, this love relationship again. They're really trying to beat that to death about coming back together and making amends. But they missed a really good storyline with me and Johnny being kids that used to fight all the time and butt heads all the time. All of a sudden they're getting along, and it was like, why are you showing us that type of story? And it makes me think because of the demographic of the show. They say it's 14 to 24-year-olds, but we all know it's much broader than that. It's really predominantly a girls' shows, and that's not. No, girls don't want to see two dudes getting along. That's a guy show, They want to see that love story, and that's we ended up missing something like that. A lot of people didn't get to see that. But so it's weird when I'm on these appearances, and people just want to talk about the show and what they see, and that's cool. I get it. It's a little awkward though when people think they know you. And maybe I can't really blame them if that's what all they see, and they've been watching it for years. It's just it's a trip, and you never really get quite used to it. You know what I mean?
So you feel like you're misunderstood? What do you feel like most people assume about you that's not true?
I eat small babies.
You eat small babies?
You eat small babies. How did you know I was thinking
babies.
that?
I eat goat head.
Oh, there you go. So we're going to actually have to take a commercial break real soon, but I have one question that, we sat here and battled out. Honestly, did you think Mark and Robin deserved to have gotten as far as they did? Because we battled it out with Paula and Dunbar, and we kind of feel like Mark and Robin, if they weren't friends with Johnny and Camilla, they wouldn't have made it as far. What are your thoughts?
I don't think that's necessarily true. Mark's a big dude, and Robin's not really a slouch either. But I honestly think Mark may be like some sort of Jedi Knight because he was just pulling those mind tricks over everybody and just coasted by. You gotta give it to him. He left his dad fall on his brains alone. Good for him. He deserved to be there.
And that is
I don't think necessarily Johnny was saving him because it wasn't like Johnny necessarily needed to. It wasn't like it was imperative that it wasn't imperative that Johnny saved him. It wasn't like Mark and Robin were really doing anything for Johnny. And I think they did it pretty much on their own. I mean, they might have helped each other out. I mean, they could have pointed a finger at each other a couple times, but for the most part, like I said, why would you if you don't need to? You know, don't point the finger at me, I won't point the finger at you. And if you don't have to do anything, and you can coast by all the way pretty much to the final, just on, because he had a great political game, I mean, go for him. He's all got to like. I mean, all got to hate.
Exactly.
I agree.
So, CT, we're going to take a commercial break. Is there any way you can stay with us for after the commercial break? We do this little segment called Stump the Steamer.
Oh, boy.
And
I'll try. I got everyone trying to drag me out of this bar already.
Oh, they're going to put you out of the bar? All right.
No, let's let Chris go. Chris,
Come on, do it.
Chris, no. We'll let you go because we want to have you back in here.
What's a Stump the Steamer? That sounds like
Stump
a
the Steamer. No, Steamer is one of our hosts. He's the supreme fan.
He knows
of the
everything.
franchise. No, you can't stump him on anything. We have fans who tweet, call in, send him questions, and he's only been stumped maybe once, right?
We've gotten him 2 times.
Twice with the random questions about what's happened. So that's Stump the Steamer. But
sounds like a weird casting couch porno.
Anyway, Chris, I continue to be impressed with you. I think this interview was great. We got to know you even better. Good luck with everything. We'll definitely talk off the air, and let's get you out here in June.
Thanks, guys. That was a lot of fun. I feel like I just vented on you guys. Like, you guys should be charging me by the hour for that.
Well, we'll send you the bill.
When I do that.
Go have drinks for me. I'm jealous. You're spring breaking all over the place.
If you guys want to come down, let me know. It's party.
All right, we will share AfterBuzz field trip.
We will take you up on that. We will. This crew will.
I'll let you off the phone. I'll let you guys go.
All right.
Again, guys.
Bye,
Thanks,
Chris.
Izzy. All right, guys.
Bye.
On that note, we're gonna head to a commercial break. When we get back, Steamy, you still with us, right? All right. Well, we're gonna get Steamer on the phone so we can Stump the Steamer. Ronnie, take us out of here.
AfterBuzz TV. Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after-shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
All right, and we are back. Steamer, are you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I really would have been interested to see what CT could have came up with. I bet he would have been able to stump you, Steamer, though. I'm not gonna lie.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
What did you think of that interview? While I'm looking for the next question.
Pretty good.
All right, you ready, Steamer?
Guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stump the Steamer. We're going to give a shout out to Susie Easton, who actually stumped you last week. She has another question for you. She said, during which challenge season did the episodes start becoming 60 minutes instead of 30?
Is there a hint over there, Jess?
Gauntlet 3.
Exactly. You got it, Steamer. There you go. Congratulations, Steamer.
I thought we got you.
We did, but we have one more question from Andrew Kirk F21, and he said, he said name the cast members. I'm going to say name a cast member, or as many as you can name, who have done every challenge from Cutthroat to Exes.
Johnny's one.
Can you name? How many more can you name?
Camilla.
Camilla's
These are
2.
people who have done every single one from.
That's just the last 3.
Yeah, it's the last 3 challenges. Can you name one more for 3?
Tyler.
And yes. Oh no, Tyler was not. It was.
Well, Tyler wasn't on this one.
Right.
That's right. Yeah.
So okay, we'll give you one more because I just know he can pull it out. I'll give you a hint.
Ty.
You said who? Ty?
Ty.
Yes, Ty. And he said I would even give CT as an acceptable answer because he appeared on Cutthroat. All right, guys. So again, we couldn't even stump the steamer. Again, we'll have to hit up CT.
We're going to have to get some more Twitter people coming in and telling us we need steamer stumpers.
These guys tweet me throughout the week with these questions, guys. So you can tweet us at AfterBuzz TV, you can follow us on Facebook. I know you can tweet Roxy at
Roxy Striar.
You can tweet me at DJ Jesse J. And I mean, I guess we can quickly kind of get into predictions. I mean,
well, yeah, even just talking about that, it's cool when you tweet us, especially during the show. I'm on my Twitter the whole time, and some of the questions that I was asking here, and I'm sure the same with Jesse, are questions that are coming from our Twitter fans. So if you have questions, tweet at us during the week or during the show, and we'll get them answered for you.
Get it, girl.
Yeah, you know.
All right, so what are you expecting from this reunion?
And now,
I don't know.
Fights.
You know what? To me, it kind of seems like, I thought that CT was going to be like, I stay in touch with DM. We were great friends on the show. Now we're great. It seems like these people, it's really a job for them. This is their work. So I don't know. I guess we'll see their true colors will come out and we'll see who's friends, who's not, and all the behind the scenes shit.
And now, are you aware of who the Miz is?
Yeah, of course.
So
Miz is a friend of AfterBuzz's too.
Now, I'm a little upset. I wish Maria Menounos, who normally does these reunions, could do it, but she can't because you guys are all voting for her on Dancing with the Stars every Monday, Tuesday night. Team Enough. But we have The Miz, who's going to be hosting this. And one thing I do like about The Miz is he does like to start drama between everybody. And he's friends with them. He's done these challenges. So I kind of feel like we might get the pot stirred a little bit.
Right.
But I can't imagine with who they're going to bring up.
I don't know. I mean, how much of a role are people who got eliminated in week 1, week 2 going to play?
Be showing up.
Exactly. I don't know. We saw all that drama with Leroy and Naomi.
Which we're going to have a scoop for you guys next week. We're hopefully going to get Frank back in the studio. He couldn't make it tonight because he was out in Vegas all last week hanging out with Naomi, Leroy. The twins from Bad Girls Club were there.
And there was some drama. I was getting phone calls at 4 a.m, drunken phone calls being like, you'll never guess what happened. So
hopefully we'll have that.
Stay tuned for that.
Yes, please stay tuned for that. Until next week, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, iTunes, comment, rate us, subscribe. Please tell your friends, your families.
We're getting blasted on iTunes. We need some love.
Show us some love. Come on, guys. Team challenge. Yes. Until next week, guys, stay tuned. And send us, please, help us stump the steamer. Until next week, peace.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.